Welcome to the Spotlight, day 21 of National Podcast Post Month. I am Ben Beck, the host of the program, and Rhys Darby. This was a fun one. This was a really fun one. Rhys had come on to promote a show called Wrecked, which was on TBS and ran actually quite a few seasons. It was kind of like a comedic Lost, which was a lot of fun. But Rhys was great. I was so looking forward to speaking to him, mainly because at the time I am still to this day such a fan of the movie What We Do in the Shadows, which has since spun off into a television show at this point. But Rhys was a total blast. I had been a fan of his for a while. I hope you guys enjoy this. This is the rewind of my conversation with Rhys Darby. Enjoy. Welcome back into the showcast. Hey, Adam, guess what?
What?
We got a guest. And I'm very excited to speak to this gentleman. He's a comedian who I've been a fan of for a very long time. Adam, I know you are too. Every time I see him pop on the screen, I absolutely light up because he just always makes me laugh. You've seen him from everything from a band manager to a radio DJ to a very excited Harry Potter fan. And now you can see him as a castaway on the new TBS show Wrecked, which airs Tuesday nights at 10 p.m. Please welcome to the program, Mr. Rhys Darby. Rhys, how you doing?
Hello. Good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, don't mention it. As I said, we're big fans, so we're very, very excited to speak with you.
I'll have to get your names. I'm writing a list of all my fans.
That's got to be a long list.
I've got a big pad.
Well, this is Ben and Adam, so we can just add us right onto that list.
Okay, Ben and Adam, right. And just your phone numbers too, because I'll need to contact you guys just when I'll get those off you later.
Okay, that'll work. As we said, we're big fans. We've seen you in a bunch of different things. I love when you pop up on shows like At Midnight and things like that, just because I always know it's going to be a good episode. But, thanks to the great people over at TBS, we've had an opportunity to advance a couple episodes of Wrecked, and we're already fans, man. It's a funny show.
Oh, cool. Thanks. Yeah, it's definitely different, in this day and age of setting shows inside. We thought we'd do one outside.
For people, for our listeners who haven't had a chance to see advanced episodes like we have, tell everybody a little bit about what the show is.
Well, it starts off rather disastrously, which I think you'll find is a word. There's a wreckage. A plane crashes on a deserted island, and there are survivors. Once you get past that horrific start, then the show really just unfurls into, is that a word? Unfurl?
I think so.
There's a whole lot of new words coming at you in this section. Unfurls into a kind of a Lord of the Flies situation with a whole bunch of misfits that don't really know each other, trying to survive somewhere where there's absolutely no one else living, and they're cut off from the world, which is difficult to believe in 2016, but we are, and so we have to get along, and so it's a survivor comedy.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest comparisons that I've seen online, and I've even seen it myself too. I guess it's really like a comedic version of Lost.
Yeah, that's the one thing people keep saying, but it's not a parody of Lost. So I think there might be one or two Lost kind of references in the first episode or so, and then you kind of forget about Lost after that. Well, not entirely, because who can forget about Lost? But it's a similar kind of setting. And yeah, I think that what made that show so successful is people love the idea of being somewhere completely out of their comfort zone, away from their own world, where they can forget about their normal life and lead some kind of different imaginary life. And I think that's what this show offers people as well. It's the ultimate getaway package.
Yeah. Were you a fan of Lost when Lost was on?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, me and everyone else that I know. We watched it to a certain point, and then you kind of went, oh, yeah, well, they're clearly making this up as they go along. Let's just forget about it. And, come back when they tell us how it ends.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things I like about Wrecked, too, is, I mean, while there are comparisons to Lost was a show that kind of took itself a little too seriously sometimes, whereas you guys don't do that at all, and it just makes it so much more enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of gags. The writers are just a couple of young brothers, and they're pretty fantastic, the Shipley brothers. This is their, I think it could be their first thing they've done, and it's... The great thing they've done is they've got a great young cast of comedic actors, and they're also they've got me, the old guy, with a few skills in my pocket, and they let me improvise. They let people kind of come through, and because comedy is an organic process, you can write as much down as you like, but on the day things can change and new ideas can happen. At the flick of an eye, and you've got to let those things come in, and you never know what gold can come from spontaneity. So it's they let that happen as well. So it's a good mix.
Yeah. Were you guys was production mostly in Hawaii like Lost was, or was it somewhere else?
No, it's Puerto Rico.
Oh, okay.
I wish it was Hawaii.
Still not bad. Still can't complain about
But it was Puerto Rico. And so it was still some beautiful beaches, and it's a great place, very friendly people, but it was two very long flights to get back to LA. So I really did feel stranded.
Yeah, I bet. I think for anyone who hasn't at least watched the pilot yet, definitely check it out. I think one of the greatest cameos of all time by James Scott in the pilot, and your reaction to your legs after the plane was lifted on you was great too. Is there?
I keep seeing a meme of that, and it freaks me out.
Oh, I gotta find that. I love the reaction. I was laughing for a good couple minutes after that. But like, do you guys get to do any improv or anything on there, or is it mostly all scripted? Or
it's all scripted, but I jump off the page as often as I can and give them a few examples of other lines that might be better than what they've written, and they usually take them. That's kind of how I work. That's funny, guys, but what if I was to say this? And they go, oh, yeah, that's actually better. So that's kind of what I do in a lot of projects. But, you can take it or leave it. No skin off my nose.
Yeah, and like you said, it Jordan Shipley and Justin Shipley, and I believe it is their first major TV show that they've done. And honestly, just from the first few episodes, they created it, but they're also involved in writing, and the writing on the show is really good. And the cast, like you said, it's very ensemble-like in the cast.
Yeah,
and
it's exactly the kind of the bunch of people that you would see on a plane. There's some really interesting types.
Yeah.
There's no one star either. Like everybody, there's no weak link. There's no, you know what I mean? Everybody is very strong on the show and pretty equal too.
Everyone has their own backstory, and you get to see over time, where each character came from and where they're going and why they act the way they do, because you see, what they've been through before they hit the island. So it's kind of, in that way, I guess that's a bit like Lost as well, but it really...
Oh, we lost him.
Yep.
Damn. We get disconnected.
What the hey?
I don't know what happened. Hopefully they call back in. All right, perfect.
Are you there?
Yes,
yep.
We're here.
Yeah, I do that. When I run out of ideas, I just hang up.
That's
I
all right.
can't remember what I was saying, but anyway, it was very important.
That's all right. We were talking about a particular scene while we were waiting to get reconnected with you about the I think it's in the second episode.
Episode 2, yeah.
Where you're discussing what you believe is a baby, but it turns out to be a Callaway golf club.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Baby Callaway.
The old classic misidentification.
I want to focus on you and your background for a minute, because I know your background, it's very interesting. I know you're from New Zealand, obviously, but what I didn't know was you actually started in the Army as a signaler.
Yeah, that's right.
What
I was
made
a
you?
soldier.
What made you want to go from that to comedy?
Well, I always had comedy. It was in me, in my blood. It flowed through me. All through school, I was the class clown, stuff like that. But I never knew, especially in New Zealand, that it would lead to a job. So at that same time, I was in the cadets. I was an Air Force cadet and then an Army cadet. This is like just a teenager kind of like scouts, And so my progression led me to join the regular service, and perhaps my idea was to liberate a small country or rescue some POWs. I think I films, and I did it, and I didn't end up rescuing anyone. There were some sheep I rescued during a very heavy winter. But yeah, once I got in the military, it was all too serious. I wasn't really the right fit, and so I didn't stay there. And my comedy got me into trouble. I used to do impressions of the officers and things, and I was kind of good for morale amongst the other troops, but they were worried that if we did deploy at some point, I might end up leading the platoon into trouble. So I was advised perhaps to move on. So I did.
Well, it's worked out well so far, I would say.
Yeah, I got a lot of ammunition, as it were, from my Army stories. And if you see any of my stand-ups, some of my latest stuff, you'll see I do some good Army stories. And it taught me a lot. It taught me some self-discipline and to look after myself and to turn up to work on time. And these are all good skills you need in any job.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, I know for your stand-up, if anything, you do a really good impression of the sounds of Vietnam, which I've seen.
Oh, yeah. That's the other thing I took away from the Army was the sound effects of machine guns.
Yeah. I know, you do a lot of television and film now, but any plans anytime soon to possibly tour again?
Yeah, well, we'll see how we go. I mean, the US is such a big behemoth to tour. I certainly tour the UK and Australia and New Zealand every couple of years. But if my profile keeps getting bigger here and I feel like people would turn up, then maybe I'll do the States. I'd love to. I mean,
yeah.
I've definitely got a few stories to tell. So I would never say never. Let's just see.
Yeah, I know, because we would love to see you out here in the Philly area if you ever came about. I know I'd be in the audience if you ever got here.
Absolutely.
Oh, cool. All right, yeah. That's why I say I'm getting this list together, and once I'm in the double figures, I might hit the road.
Well, I know one thing that I probably would not have asked maybe 2 years ago. That I'm going to ask now because now I have a child, and you actually do a voice on Jake and the Neverland Pirates, which is familiar to any parent probably out there.
Yeah.
As Disney Channel is always on it. I mean, that's not necessarily a comedy, but did you ever think about doing like animated comedy as something to kind of dive into at some point in your career? Because it seems like a really fun, from everyone we've talked to who does it, it seems really fun.
Oh, it is fun. And I'm in a show called Voltron, the Legendary Defender. I play a character in that, and that's a comedic role, which I really enjoy. And I've also got yeah, it's on Netflix, yeah.
Yes, okay.
So check that out. I'm pretty much a space version of me on that.
I will have to watch it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I do have plans to create an animated comedy, because I think you can just go so much further with animation. It takes longer to make, but you've got more options once you're there, and of course it's easier to run down to the sound booth as opposed to fly to Puerto Rico.
That is true.
So it's in the works, that idea.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
As I mentioned, before, and we've mentioned a couple times, you've done a number of films, from the Harry Potter, the Bank Manager and Yes Man to, to a number of other roles, to the alpha wolf in What We Do in the Shadows, which is such an underrated, great movie. But the one role I have to mention, I'd be remiss if I didn't bring it up to you while we're talking to you. It's probably one of my top 5 favorite movies of all time. I'm so in love with the film Pirate Radio.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, or The Boat That Rocked,
Awesome.
depending on where you're from.
Yeah, that's the British version. It first came out as The Boat That Rocked, and if you've only seen Pirate Radio, you should try and get The Boat That Rocked, because it's a longer. The UK cut has like an extra half an hour in it.
Oh, I've seen that cut actually, and it's great. I mean, there are a number of scenes that are not in the US version.
Yeah, I don't know why they cut some stuff, but the UK one makes a little bit more sense in certain areas, because they cut some stuff for the US one. But hey, look, that film was the best time, because I'm sure if you're a fan of it, you can see how much fun we had making it. That's exactly what we did. We were on a ship listening to the greatest rock and roll music ever created, drinking and hanging out with the best talent you've ever seen. It was a trip for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you've mentioned everything.
And dressing up like those, and then dressing up in those 1960 outfits.
Yeah.
And the dance sequences. I mean, come on.
I mean, yeah, you mentioned pretty much everything I love about that film. The cast, including yourself, is phenomenal. The soundtrack, I listen to that soundtrack probably all the way through at least once a month, because I'm a huge music fan, so I love everything that's on it. It's just such a fantastic movie, and I think it's an important story. It's a true story about Yeah, I mean, and us being in the the podcasting and show business, being behind the microphone it kind of relates to us a little bit. Is that anything?
Absolutely.
Is that anything you ever thought of at least giving a try at some point, like hosting a radio show or even a podcast from that?
Yeah. I mean, I have back in New Zealand. I had a radio show. It was very unique. It was about cryptozoology. It was called The Cryptid Factor, and I did that with a couple of buddies of mine, and we've kept that going. We turned it into a podcast, and then when I moved to LA, it was quite hard for the three of us to do it, online together. Although technology has got better since we kind of discovered it was too hard, so we may get back into it. I do love being behind the mic. It's working on the radio is still probably the most fun you can have out of any of the entertainment art forms.
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
Just because it's there's no one staring at you.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Add it to the list of things to do once that list that you have there reaches 10.
Yeah, man. Yeah. No, I would like to. I drive around listening to Sirius XM, all the hundreds of radio stations, and I think, man, I could be on one of these. People could listen to me in their car.
Honestly, I could hear you talk. I mean, I love accents from New Zealand, Australia. Like it wouldn't matter what you were talking about. I could probably just listen to you babble on about whatever.
Well, I could, because I would probably rave on about all sorts of bizarre things that people wouldn't be interested in. But
that's exactly what we do, and somehow people keep coming back. So
exactly.
Oh, good.
Before we let you go, I know you have a new film. At least IMDb says it's coming out this Friday, which we're talking to you on a Wednesday. But as our listeners hear this, it would have come out this past weekend. But Hunt for the Wilder People, is that releasing limited, I guess, this week?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, this is Taika Waititi's film, and if you're a fan of What We Do in the Shadows, it's the same director. He's also worked with Jermaine and I directing Concord's episodes, and yeah, he's a really good friend. We've known each other for a long time, and this particular comedy, it's a family movie, so it's exactly the same type of humor that we always do, which is that silly, bizarre, self-effacing kind of optimistic humor. But this is a family one, so you can take kids as well. So it's a beautifully put together film about survival, and I play I play an absolute nut job in this movie. A guy conspiracy freak that lives out in the Wapcaks, as we say in New Zealand, which is the middle of nowhere in the forest. Well, it wasn't too much of a stretch actually playing that role.
Well, I mean, we'll have to keep an eye out to see if it's anywhere around us for sure. And I know, like you said, you've worked with Taika on What We Do in the Shadows and a few other projects. Now he's also directing the new Thor movie. And is there any chance that we'll see you pop up in the new Thor movie? Because that would be pretty awesome.
That would be awesome, but I certainly have not received a phone call yet.
Damn it.
I can't see why they wouldn't want me in a Marvel blockbuster. Come on.
Marvel has, I mean, they have a tendency to really find a way to really fit comedy into their movies. So I would see a perfect fit for you in there.
Yeah, they're doing it more and more, and I think that's why they got Taika involved. And it's great. I might be a step too far for them, but let's just see. Maybe Thor 4. Let's see how Taika's one goes.
Yeah, and Thor's from Australia, so I mean the accent's not too far off.
Exactly.
So I can see it. Make some phone calls.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're not going to take up any more of your time, Rhys. We really appreciate you coming on. But of course, we want to send everybody who's listening right now to check out Wrecked on TBS Tuesdays at 10 o'clock. As we've said, we've seen a number of episodes and we highly enjoy it. So we know our listeners will too. And of course, we want to send people to your social media as well. Follow you on Twitter at Rhys Darby. Yeah,
that's right.
So
I've got quite a few followers now. I'm trying to get I'm in the triple figures, and I'm trying to get into the quadruples. I don't know why. I don't meet any of these people. Some of them annoy me, but this is life in 2016.
It sure is.
Well, that's your list right there too. That'll put you over into double digits.
I could contact all of those followers for the tour.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, you got at least two more after this now, so you're 2 steps closer.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Rhys, thank you so much for joining us. This was an absolute blast.
No worries, guys. Great chatting to you.